Hi, this is the video vlog for December 29th of a Thursday. But currently it's Friday, December 30th at 1:38 p.m. But at least I'm getting around to doing the video. It took me a long time because I was, hooked on the thing. Because I'm working on a new thing yesterday. But it's something that I think I wanted to do for a long time, and I could have freaking sworn. That somewhere I even did build it, but I couldn't find it. I was looking all over my timeline, and so the thing that I have to do now is add the decades to my timeline because I was working on my bi-weekly history pass test page, and I decided to just make it wicked way big, maximize it. And so I decided to do linkage on the page because I have all these links, So I decided one of the links should go to the timeline. But my bi-weekly history test page, it's all the decades. So if I'm gonna have a decade linked to a decade, it has to link to something. So I built the decade. So I built. Then I built it, and then with the circles, color-coded circles that go out from the center, up to 700 years in the future. 700 years either way. So it's 1,400 years. That's pretty cool. And it's something that I know that I wanted to do. And so I was like, because when I got up this morning, I was like, couldn't really remember what I was doing yesterday. So I opened up the page and I clicked on the button and the link was broken. So I opened it up, and it turned out that I never built a bunch of the links. So I built the links on it, and man, I was going to say something, but I lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, so I was like, why aren't the links working? So I went to my timeline, and those little decades weren't built yet. So I built the decades, today with all of the things out, and that's a lot of links because it was for I only did it for AD, so it was like 200 decades, so over 4 pages, because each page is 5 decades, 5 centuries. So you're having each decade linked to 14 different decades of the corresponding decade, forward and backward. And you're doing that for 200 of them, right? So 200 times 14. How many is that? I haven't even done that calculatory yet. Let's do it right now, dude. 200 times 14. What in the heck is that? 200 times 14 equals 2,800. Right. So I built 2,800 links today, but I was able to each decade do batch edit. So I had to manually do the first one, the 10s, and then I just batch edited it to get from the 20s through the 90s. Because I only had to change one number, the 10s, 20s, 30s. So I was able to race through and build all of the links for the world page. I didn't check it yet. I may have to build. I think I did all the anchors too, but Yeah, so if I could do that, and I built that from scratch. So if I feel like I'm making really good progress, I think I'm going to go ahead and maybe try to build it into some other pages because I really like having it there. It makes it complete because when you're thinking about the timeline, when you're thinking about time, you think in terms of decades. Everybody does that. And so you should in the past too. And it's a good way to go forward in time because my timeline is when you're having the events, you can't go linearly across if you wanted to do that because it's not the same, you know. Some centuries are ahead of other centuries, have more stuff going on than others. So if you're in like the year 330 and you want to know, you want to jump to 430 for whatever reason, which you would too all the time, then that's what those are for. You just see it there and then you just hit the button and it takes you that way over, boom. So it keeps you aligned. So it makes it so it is aligned even though it's not. So it's cool. And then you can jump frickin' 7 front and back too. So it's a great way to aid in trying to imagine all this time period forward and backward. Like what's the same as how many years are forward compared to this and backward of all the different things. So kind of like how you can do the same thing with well, I have like links like that with my Power 10 page. So before I did this video, I was finishing putting links on the biweekly history pet test page because after I built the decades on the world timeline, I went to check the links and look at the biweekly history pet test page, which is the one that links to all of it, which I used to tech, and I didn't completely put all the links of all of it on. So that's what I'm doing now. Like, I guess most of it didn't have a link share. Didn't have the final timeline plug. I popped in the link for all the timelines for the 4 different pages, but I didn't do the pound sign decade to pinpoint it to the decade. So that's what I'm doing now. So yeah, maybe by tonight I'll be able to do it. I've been busting all day since like sunrise, and now it's like 2 in the morning. So I did really well. Like, and I was working like the whole time. I went to the store I think once, really quickly, because I had to. Through the snow and shit, I had to walk, trudge through deep water, because I had to though, because I had to go to the bank anyway, because I was negative $77, but it only happened today, so it hadn't gotten, so I have to pay like the overdraft, and I had cash, because I went and got cash for my savings for my other bank, so I went over there to put the cash in, so take care of that, and since I was out, I got like an energy drink and tomato soup, and Boathouse Farm fruit juice, Green Goody or whatever it's called, Green Immunity Boost. It's on sale for like $6 or $7. It's like way cheaper than it normally is over the last couple of days, so I'm like wicked. Yeah, so I had like 2 veggie patties and that drink, a couple bananas I think, and a couple of fruit juices, and tomato soup, and that's all I ate today. Like when I'm not, and I think I had a protein drink twice, when I'm just like hooked, working all the time on something new, trying to get caught up ahead, I skip videos, but I also skip meals. like my belly rubbles, but because I don't exercise, I can get away with just like when I get hungry, if I drink like water or a protein drink, like I'm not hungry anymore, you know? So it's a great way to avoid, if you don't exercise at all, a great way to avoid getting like fat is by working so much that you don't have time to eat. So, I'm going to, yeah, go back and like make these links, man. I was like so hooked working today that I didn't even, wasn't even listening to anything. It was just silence for most of the day. So that's interesting. Don't normally do that, but I'm gonna go and listen to some more, listen to all the videos of Spiral Dynamics now. Because I was doing the world page on 1500 to 2000 where all my generational theory is, I was fixing that. Adding Wikipedia links and condensing it so that it would fit in the page. It made the page go out to what? Anyway, talk to you tomorrow.